All right, we're going to go over how to use these lovely Badger books. Let's teach you really quick how to use it, and that way when you use it on election day, it'll just come easy. Now these are really, really simple to use. They basically tell you exactly what to say, what to do. You really can't mess it up. So, we're gonna get started. First thing we're going to go over is the poll books. So you're going to go to the check-in voters, and then this is where you can check in voters who are already registered, but you can also register new people. So each station will be able to do both. We don't have a separate registration versus poll books anymore. Everything is done at the same spot. So the blue box is what it tells you to say. So you'll have the person state their name and address. You will also look at their ID at this point. We have lovely little magnifiers for the person to set their ID in, so you don't have to touch it at all. It also magnifies it, which is really nice. So you'll have them state their name and address, look at their ID, make sure it looks reasonably like them. You'll hit the voter stated name and address button. And this is where you will type in their name. So it's last name, and then first name. I would type in the entire last name. And then you can tab over to the first name. It'll think for a moment, and then it will pull them up. Now you'll see this is the person I was looking for in white, and they're from Verona. But you'll see that there are other municipalities here. So if somebody comes in and they are from Madison or somewhere else, normally we get a lot of Madison people coming in, it'll tell you right there that they are in the wrong place. So you can hit redirect, and it will tell you exactly where that person votes. So you can direct them to that place, and they can go over there and vote on election day. If this is your person, you will just hit select voter. Again, it will tell you to see their photo ID, which you should already have in the stand at this moment. You can click which one it is. Most of the time it's going to be the driver's license. You'll make sure that that is their correct name. This is the expiration date that we are working off of. So as long as it can be expired, but not past this date. So if it was expired in, October of 2018, then it's too old. It cannot be expired any older than this date. Once you make sure that it's reasonably them, you can hit accept. You will turn the machine around so the screen flips. The voter will sign. And then you will hit done. You will look, you will see, yes, I accept the signature. You are done. It prints out a tally slip on the stand. That's what the tally slip looks like. You will see it has the ward number there, and it has a voter number. So when they take this over to the ballot table, the person will look for this ward number to make sure they give them the right ballot. Then, once you make sure that this is printed out correctly, you will then hit Finish, New Voter. And that is all you do to check in a voter. Okay, say there's somebody new coming in who needs to register to vote. You will start on this screen as well. It says, please state your name and address. Have them do that. And then you can search for them. Now, once they come up, you'll see, oh, this person already has a voter number. So that's not the person that I'm looking for. But this person down here just moved to Verona. Over here, you'll see update address. Click that button. It will say, were you previously at this address? And make sure that's them. So that way we have the right person that it will transfer from. So when you do this, once I upload it into the system, it will take them out of Milwaukee and bring them here to Verona. So if it is them, you will hit confirm. If it's not them, you will hit this one. And then you'll go down here to this button. It says none of these are my voter. Then you will click that and it will bring you to registration. But this person is the person I'm looking for, so I will hit confirm. All right, so now you're going to ask the person, do you have a proof of residence document with your current name and address on it? You'll hit the drop down, and these are the only things that you can use for proof of residence. If it's not on this list, then it is not an acceptable form of proof of residence. You can't just bring in any sort of junk mail as your proof of residence. It has to be one of the things on this list. We will say that this person brought in their paycheck or pay stub. Most people don't bring in their actual paycheck. It's normally the check stub. You will type in the issuing entity. So we will just say it is Epic, because that's a very common one. You can put in the last 4 numbers of their account. All right, once you have that all entered in, then you'll hit continue to step 2. Now you'll make sure that that name is correct, and then you'll go down here to the birthday. We will make up a name for this person, or a birth date. And then if they have an email address or a phone number that they'd like to add, that's very helpful. If they don't want to add either of those, they do not have to. If, say, somebody got married or changed their name, you would hit this button, and then it would pop up with the last name that the person was under. So that way we can tie their voter records together. Once that's all entered, hit continue to step 3. On this screen is where you will add the voter's address. If you start typing in the house number, it will pop up all the houses in Verona that have that number, as well as the rest of the address. This one is an apartment number, so it will pop up with all of the apartment numbers, as well as all of the other addresses here in Verona that start with 121. If you don't see the address you're looking for, you can hit create new address, and then you can start typing in the address that you are looking for. You can choose the type of unit. You can add the unit, city, state, and then you can continue to step 4. Now you'll have to ask the voter all of these questions. Are you a U.S. citizen? Are you at least 18 years of age? Have you been issued a Wisconsin driver's license? At this point, you will have to type in their driver's license. Make sure that the first letter there is a capital letter. Once you have all the numbers in, it will automatically put the dashes where they belong. Put in the expiration date. And then you can go on to the next question. Have you resided at your current residential address for at least 28 days? Yes. If they have not, get a chief inspector, and the chief inspector can go over what their options are at that point. Are you currently serving a sentence for a felon conviction, including probation, parole, or supervision? Hopefully the answer is no. Are you otherwise disqualified from voting? Continue to step 5. Now, this is where you can turn the screen around. You can verify that the person that everything is correct there. Make sure you had entered everything in correctly. Continue to step 6 if everything's correct. Now you will choose which ward the person is in. You'll choose the ballot style. And you'll choose the school district. If you're not sure which ward and everything is in, you will have a computer next to you that you can look all of that up on and be able to fill that in. You will have the voter check this box saying that they certify that is them. The voter will sign. You, as the election inspector, will then sign. You'll hit continue. Now, most people who come on election day will want to vote that day. So then you'll hit continue to check in voter. If for some reason they just wanted to register but they don't want to vote, you can hit finish and go to the next voter. And it just stores their information. The thing to remember is that if they say, no, I don't want to vote right now, I'll come back a little later, you cannot access people you've already entered. So you will have to re-enter all of that information in order for them to vote. So I highly encourage that if somebody is coming to register, that they vote right then and there. Continue to next vote to check in voter. Now you will choose which form of photo ID. So this may be different than their proof of residence. They may have a passport instead of a proof of residence. Notice on here that it only says Wisconsin driver's license. That means that another state's driver's license does not work. It has to be a Wisconsin driver's license. Most people who are from out of state, they will use their passport or like a veteran ID or something. So we'll say the passport, make sure that it hasn't expired after that date, and then you'll hit accept. The voter signs again for their ballot. Done. You will hit accept signature. You will get their tally slip. Finish next voter. And you are all done registering someone. One thing to notice is when you get to this slide where the voter signs for their ballot, it will have a pop-up that says voter is physically unable to sign and curbside voter. So when you have somebody come up to you who says, hey, I got a curbside voter, you'll walk through all the steps as if the person's standing in front of you. But once you get to this spot, and you do have to have a line or something there. But once you get to that spot, you'll hit curbside voter, and it will pop that into where the signature line is. So there is no signature. It will just say ballot received at poll entrance. Then you can accept the signature. Then you'll get the tally slip and you'll hit finish. So if somebody comes in and has somebody assisting them, you'll have to draw a line, hit accept, and then you can say the voter is physically unable to sign. You can hit that, exempt by order of inspector. And then over here, there is the voter has an assister. You'll want to check that. You need to type in the person's name and their address. You'll hit accept at that point, and then it will print out their tally slip, and you will hit the finish and next voter. That is all there is for checking in voters and registration. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Your chief inspectors will be there if you need any help, but otherwise you guys should be able to handle it. The next thing we're going to go over is the process of absentees. So you will be going into the process absentees tile. And you will notice over here that your lines turned blue. So you know you're in the absentee processing. You'll want to make sure that you're reporting ballots. Figure out which one you're doing. So over at the library, we have wards 1 and 5, and then we have 2 through 4. Once you've gotten to this screen and you have your wards picked, you're going to go step by step through how to process an absentee. You or your partner will read the voter's name and address out loud. On the envelope, it will have the voter's name and address right up here. Then you will review the absentee envelope for the voter signature, the witness signature, and the witness address. So on these envelopes, the voter signature goes right here with the date. Down here is where the witness signature signs and the witness address. Now sometimes people will sign on the wrong line. You can see there's line 1 and line 2. As long as the information is all there, it's fine. The other thing you want to check for is right up here to make sure that my initials or somebody's initials is up there. If it is not up there, there will be a purple highlight. That means that there should be a copy of their photo ID in the envelope. If it is not there, and there's a purple line up there, that ballot cannot be counted. If it is in there, you're going to set the photo ID aside and you're going to process this as normal. So once you verify that all of that is correct, you're going to start typing in the last name and looking for the person. We'll say that this person is who I was looking for. You're going to hit the box to select the person, and then you're going to go over here and hit submit. It'll pop them up so you know you selected the right person and it wasn't this other person down here. It'll give them the voter number. You'll hit continue. It brings you back up to the top of the alphabet so you can start to the next person. After you have the person all processed through, if you want to double check to make sure that it went, you can start typing in their last name again. They'll pop up and you'll see that they're in green and that they have a voter number. So you know that it all went through just fine. You can take that ballot and set it over in the pile of ballots that you have and put the envelope in the pile of the opened envelopes on the other side. As you get a pile of ballots, that's when you or somebody else can go and take it and put it in the tabulator and make sure it goes through correctly. If it doesn't, we will have somebody come and remake the ballot to make sure it goes through. Otherwise, it should just work just fine. Another thing you want to remember is that you do not open these envelopes until after you have read the name and the address out loud. So when you get a box of the envelopes, you don't want to go through and open them all. You do it one at a time to make sure everything is going smoothly. And that is all I have for the Badger books. Pretty simple, pretty easy. It's just making sure that you take your time, do it correctly, but as you go through and do it, you will get speedy at it and it will go smoothly. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, on election day, we can walk through one or two with you and make sure you're comfortable. But you should be good.